Greetings from Malawi. My name is Tim Amukele, and I am the president of Pathologists Overseas. Starting now in April 2021, I will provide a short, hopefully monthly video update about our activities. We have a lot to update you on, including our upcoming podcasts, the various labs we're working with around the world, supporting them in using laboratory information systems, and as well as proficiency testing and mentoring programs, new test requests for anatomic pathology, and a whole bunch of other items. But in an effort to keep this first update to under 10 minutes, I will only talk about two things. The first is to say thank you to a few people, uh, six of them, but I'll get through quickly, who have really put in a lot of good effort over the last few months. And I also want to talk to you about something I'm very excited about, which is our 10-week uh, laboratory quality management system, a virtual course that is going on right now. It started in the middle of March and will be going on through the middle of May. It's a collaboration with ASCP, and I'm very excited about it, and I want to talk to you about it uh, to tell you what the next steps are. As you know, we are a volunteer organization, and the work of the organization is much more than any one person can do. So I have organized a working group of 4 pathology and laboratory medicine professionals who meet with me every Friday to work and report on various activities. These are people who have other full-time jobs, but have made this commitment to meet weekly and work on various activities. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to them. The first here is Roa Harb, who's a former assistant professor at Yale and currently a medical officer at the NIH in the US, National Institutes of Health. And she has primary responsibility for our proficiency testing programs globally. And those programs are done in collaboration with the Royal College of Pathologists of Australia, who donate the actual proficiency testing material. The second person I want to say thank you to is Mary Tesfazgi, who is an assistant professor at Rush University and who has primary responsibility for our laboratory information system programs globally. And of course, the LIS system we install and support is donated by Compromed. So thank you, Jeff, forever for your generosity. Um, uh, Third is Sarah Riley, who is a clinical toxicologist and associate professor at St. Louis University, who has a lead role in our outreach and fundraising activities, and Emily Glynn, who's an assistant professor at the University of Washington, who functions as our COO and has primary responsibility for all of our updating and maintaining our communication and our archiving. In essence, our website and all of the back, all of the servers and all the drives behind that support that. So thank you so much, Emily. Um, Without their efforts, we would be accomplishing a lot less and maybe nothing at all. And I really thank them and celebrate them to you. Um, the next thing I'd like to talk about is the 10-week course, which I'm very excited about. But first, I will mention Annelise Lejeune, who served as our project coordinator for 6 months and really helped us get organized enough to be effective. As you know, Pathologists Overseas is a 30-year-old organization, and so we have 30 years of pictures and files and all this stuff, and she organized all that into a really streamlined system that makes it easy for us to get information and do work. She also almost single-handedly organized the 10-week laboratory quality management system course, which was very complicated to set up with lecturers, pre and post surveys, needs assessment, and all that. She also helped us set up the podcast, which will be debuting later this year. So we're just very excited. Unfortunately, she left us in March, accepting a position as a senior project manager at a Panorama Global, which is a do tank in Seattle. So she's still in global health, which is great, and um, we are cheering her on and excited about the great things she's going to be doing moving forward. The 10-week class has been really wonderful. It is a collaboration, as I mentioned, with ASCP, and it's focused on the 12 quality system essentials as defined by the WHO. And it's 10 weeks, and there's 2 classes a week, on one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. And we set it up to be at about 11 o'clock Eastern in the US, which is about 4 p.m. West African time and 6 p.m. East African time. This first iteration of the course, we wanted to focus on sub-Saharan African participants. And so we chose the times to work with a full working day. So you finish working, then you take the course. We had expected to get a max of 500 people signing up. And once we opened up the opportunity, we had over 600 people sign up in 2 days. And so we had to close the sign up rather early. And there were a lot of people who wanted to sign up who couldn't get in. And so we've learned a lot from that. We have learned that the desire for this kind of material is very high. And especially during this time of COVID and restricted movement, people are really looking for high quality material to learn. We also will be re-offering this course, both in English and hopefully in other languages, namely Spanish, French, and Portuguese. We are planning to repeat the English class rather than just play a recording of it, because the live class is required for CE credit, because it allows us to take attendance and keep everybody honest. But watch out for that. We have applied for some grant funding to help support doing this class again. The teachers and the lecturers are all volunteers, so it's not that, but the money went to help support the project coordination position that did all that work to support it, as well as any IT costs, which you can imagine that all these lectures are being recorded and saved online, and all that space and all that has to be paid for. And so here's the link to the current course. Okay, so last but not least, 2 more people I wanted to say thank you to. First is Dr. Alice Newman, who is a pathologist here in the US. When the COVID pandemic descended on us in early 2020, we noticed that there was a lack of coverage of what was going on with testing in countries in the global south. So we started our COVID testing dashboard to fill that gap. The work was really tough because a lot of the data about where testing was occurring in, say, Chad or Ecuador was really scant. And we had to use a lot of unusual sources like Twitter feeds of the Ministry of Health, or Facebook posts and this kind of thing, to try to pull some data about if testing was happening, where that testing was happening, and some idea of the amount of testing that was happening. Alice, who is fluent in Spanish, did the work of pulling the data for countries in Central America, and she did an amazing job of that. And I thank her, and we thank her. With the advent of the vaccines, the focus of COVID control and management has shifted. And so we've decided to end the COVID testing dashboard to focus on other activities. Thank you so much, Alice, for your wonderful work getting and updating all that data. We'll be calling on you again for other Spanish related things. And last but not least, I wanted to thank a mentee of mine, Ryland Spence. Ryland was a pre-med student who was working in my department at Johns Hopkins Bayview when I was the director there. And we collaborated on other projects, but also on this one. He pulled a lot of the data for our COVID-19 testing dashboard. And so I just wanted to say thank you, Ryland, and congratulations on getting into Georgetown School of Medicine. I'm sure you'll be a great doctor. All right, so that's all for this month's update. Look forward to the one for next month in a few weeks' time. Thank you.